On November 17, 2025, a chartered Embraer ERJ-145LR prepared for a journey that would soon be remembered for all the wrong reasons. On board was a high-level government delegation led by Minister of Mines Louis Watum Kabamba, accompanied by senior advisors and humanitarian officials. The aircraft soared across the vast, rugged skies of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, its passengers deep in thought about the mission ahead. Their purpose was solemn: to offer condolences and much-needed support to a mining community devastated by a recent, tragic accident that had claimed dozens of lives. As the jet began its final approach to Kolwezi Airport, a heavy silence filled the cabin, the weight of their mission pressing on every passenger. Without warning, the landing turned catastrophic. The aircraft slammed onto the runway with a bone-jarring impact, shattering the calm and sending shockwaves through the fuselage. The main landing gear collapsed instantly, causing the jet to veer violently off the runway, skidding uncontrollably across the rough, uneven terrain beyond the tarmac. Inside, chaos erupted. Passengers were hurled from their seats. Overhead bins burst open, and personal belongings became dangerous projectiles as the screech of tearing metal filled the air. The battered aircraft finally shuddered to a halt, its nose buried in the dirt, the fuselage twisted and broken. But the ordeal was far from over. The danger, in fact, was only just beginning to reveal itself. Flames suddenly erupted near the tail, ignited by leaking jet fuel, and thick, toxic black smoke began to billow skyward, visible for miles. The mission of mercy had, in a heartbeat, become a desperate race for survival as panic swept through the cabin. Passengers and crew scrambled to escape, fighting through smoke and confusion as the fire spread with terrifying speed. The urgency was overwhelming. Every second counted as the inferno threatened to engulf the entire aircraft, trapping those still inside. The once quiet flight had devolved into pure mayhem, the air filled with shouts, alarms, and the roar of the growing fire. The delegation, just moments from fulfilling their mission, now faced a harrowing life-or-death struggle on the tarmac. The fire's heat intensified, and acrid, choking smoke filled the cabin, making every breath a battle. Outside, the burning jet became a beacon of disaster, drawing emergency vehicles racing across the airfield to the scene. The mission's original purpose was lost in the chaos, replaced by a single, primal goal: survival at any cost. In an instant, a journey of compassion and hope had turned into a desperate fight to escape a burning wreck, forever changing the lives of all on board. Amid the chaos, alarms blared and confusion reigned as passengers scrambled to make sense of the unfolding emergency. The cabin crew's rigorous training kicked in instantly. Shouting clear, urgent commands above the din, they directed panicked passengers to the nearest exits as thick smoke and searing heat intensified with every second. Minister Kabamba and his team, along with the rest of the delegation, rushed down the narrow aisle, hearts pounding, focused solely on escape. One by one, all 29 people on board evacuated the burning jet, stumbling out into the open air. From a safe distance, they watched in shock and disbelief as the aircraft was quickly engulfed in flames. The fire raged, reducing the jet to a charred skeleton within minutes, leaving nothing but smoldering wreckage. Miraculously, everyone survived. No fatalities, no serious injuries. Relief and gratitude swept over the survivors. The delegation, en route to comfort others in crisis, now had their own harrowing story of survival to share. The sight of the burning plane would haunt them for years to come, a stark, unforgettable reminder of how close disaster had come that day. News of the crash spread rapidly across the globe, with dramatic footage and eyewitness accounts circulating online, capturing the world's attention. For the survivors, it was a moment of overwhelming relief mixed with disbelief and shock. The mission had ended in flames and chaos, but luck, quick thinking, and teamwork had averted a devastating tragedy. The world watched in shock and awe, but for those on the ground, it truly felt like a miracle. Their escape was a testament to human resilience, courage, and the will to survive, and a powerful reminder of the value of preparation. In the aftermath, survival was their only comfort, and gratitude their lasting memory. This flight was no ordinary trip. It was an emergency charter responding to a national disaster. Minister Kabamba's team was headed to Lualaba province after a catastrophic mine collapse in Kalando, which had claimed dozens of lives. The miners, working in perilous conditions, were the backbone of their communities. The government's mission: offer condolences, coordinate aid, and assess the tragedy firsthand. Their presence was meant to symbolize solidarity and hope. Ironically, their journey to comfort others was interrupted by their own near disaster. The crash delayed critical support for the grieving community. The officials, focused on one tragedy, suddenly became survivors of another. The mission's urgency was now matched by their own need for rescue. The Embraer ERJ-145LR, registration 9S-AJB, was a seasoned regional jet, recently returned to service with Airjet Angola. On this day, it was chartered for Air Katanga, bound for Kolwezi Airport, a vital hub in the DRC's mining heartland. Kolwezi's airport is crucial for the region's economy, handling both passengers and cargo for the booming copper and cobalt industries. As a Category 8 aerodrome, it's required to meet high international safety standards, including robust emergency services. The ERJ-145 is designed for such regional flights, but relies on safe, well-maintained runways. The flight from Lubumbashi to Kolwezi should have been routine. Instead, a combination of factors at the airport and during landing created disaster. The story of the crash is as much about the airport as the aircraft. Infrastructure and preparedness would prove critical in the unfolding crisis. The final approach to Kolwezi Airport's runway 29 began as a routine descent, with the crew following standard procedures and the passengers unaware of any trouble ahead. But what started as a normal landing attempt would soon spiral into disaster. The aircraft touched down hard, well short of the intended runway, on a rough, unprepared patch of the airfield, far from the safety of the tarmac. The violent impact instantly collapsed the main landing gear, sending the jet lurching and skidding out of control across the uneven ground. Inside the cockpit, the pilots fought desperately to regain command of the aircraft, frantically working the controls as alarms blared, but the plane veered off the runway, scraping and bouncing violently over the rough terrain, making recovery impossible. Sparks from the battered fuselage ignited leaking fuel, and within moments, a fire erupted near the tail, threatening everyone on board. Thick, choking smoke quickly filled the cabin, leaving passengers disoriented and signaling the urgent need for a rapid evacuation. The flawed landing triggered a devastating chain reaction: gear collapse, fire, and a desperate scramble to escape the burning wreckage. In the aftermath, investigators would question whether pilot error, a technical malfunction, or confusion about the runway's location and condition was ultimately to blame for the catastrophe. What's certain is that the landing was fundamentally flawed, putting the lives of everyone on board in grave danger and testing the limits of emergency response. In aviation, a single misjudgment can have catastrophic consequences. This landing was a stark reminder of that reality. Runway 29 at Kolwezi was under construction, with a displaced threshold moving the landing point 1,000 meters down. This left only 2,500 meters of usable runway, enough for the ERJ-145, but with little margin for error. The first 1,000 meters, though paved, were unsafe for landing. Pilots needed to fly over this section and touch down only after the new threshold. Preliminary analysis suggests the crew misjudged the landing point, touching down on the unprepared surface. The soft, uneven ground contributed to the gear collapse and subsequent fire. Whether the crew misunderstood the NOTAM or made a critical error remains under investigation. Temporary changes to airport infrastructure demand heightened vigilance. In this case, the runway's hidden danger proved disastrous. The first 1,000 meters looked like a runway, but were a deadly trap. As the jet burned, another failure became clear. The airport's fire trucks were slow to respond. Several minutes passed before emergency vehicles arrived, a serious breach of protocol for a Category 8 airport. ICAO standards require a rapid response within 2 to 3 minutes, but Kolwezi fell short. The delay allowed the fire to destroy the aircraft completely. While all escaped, a faster response might have saved the jet and preserved evidence. The incident raised urgent questions about the airport's preparedness and emergency procedures. Confidence in Kolwezi's safety infrastructure was shaken. The miraculous survival could not mask the airport's critical deficiencies. The DRC's Bureau Permanent d'Enquête d'Accidents et Incidents d'Aviation, BPEA, launched a full investigation. Their focus pilot actions, aircraft condition, and airport procedures. Investigators will analyze cockpit recordings, flight data, and maintenance records. They'll scrutinize the displaced threshold, runway markings, and the clarity of the NOTAM. The delayed emergency response will be a major point of inquiry. The goal: identify causes and prevent future tragedies. The investigation's findings will be crucial for improving aviation safety in the region. Only by learning from every failure can future disasters be averted. The Kolwezi crash is a stark reminder of aviation's unforgiving nature. While all survived, the incident exposed failures in pilot vigilance and airport emergency readiness. The displaced threshold was a known risk, yet still caught the crew off guard. Rigorous briefings and flawless adaptation to changing conditions are essential. The delayed fire response revealed systemic weaknesses that must be urgently addressed. The BPEA's investigation must lead to real, implemented safety improvements. For the survivors, their mission now includes championing aviation safety. From the ashes, the lesson is clear: vigilance and preparedness save lives.